this beautiful boy. Look
show
up.
Your monster truck. Show your garbage trucks to the friends.
Look up.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't pull. Don't pull that. Mama fix.
Look at my beautiful boy. Oh, you look so gorgeous today. What are you playing with? Theodore, what are you playing?
My garbage truck broke.
Oh no, and Mommy's fixing it.
Mommy's trying. I don't know if I can.
Oh, Mom will get it fixed for sure.
Here you go.
She did it! Best Mommy ever.
Yeah, just like that.
Just like that. You be gentle with it, alright?
Yeah, and wait.
There you go.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. So today, the recipes that I picked out to share with you guys from my grandmother's newspapers. Well, one is from her newspapers and one was from her favorite cookbook she got in Savannah, Georgia, when she had come to visit us one time when we were living in Georgia. And they absolutely loved this cookbook. My grandma, she just made all kinds of recipes from it, and one of them was peach cobbler. Now this cookbook is also from the 80s. I do believe the chicken recipe though is from the 70s, so let me grab that and I will show it to you. So this is a cookbook that I'm using. It's from 1980, and these are the recipes we're going to make this week that I've picked out. But this is the peach cobbler recipe, and yes, my grandmother would make this. I just have to get together peaches, sugar, margarine, flour, baking powder, sugar, salt, and milk. And this is a chicken recipe that I'm going to make tonight. It's an Indian chicken casserole is what it's called. And this one is from 1978. Just kind of let you see the paper a little bit. For this, I need a stewed chicken cut up into pieces. So I'm going to go on and cook my chicken in the Instapot real quick, because you can also substitute leftover turkey for the chicken, so it just wants cooked chicken already. Then we're going to mix together some cream and chicken soup, some eggs, salt, pepper, milk, corn, and melted butter. So we'll see how this one turns out. Okay, so here I just have my chicken and a little bit of water, probably about 2 cups. I'm going to add some garlic.
I'll call you Spike.
Some carrots. Then I have some fresh thyme that I'm just going to throw in there. And I have a bay leaf. And some onion. Okay, so here all I did was then pull out the chicken, and it has definitely fall apart. I'm going to let it cool enough so that I can pull just the meat off the bones. Then I'm going to put the bones back in here, and I'm going to cook it again just to make a really good rich broth. So here is the meat, and then all I did was add that back. The bones and all of that back in, and I also added some more salt. Now I'm just gonna re-cook it for another 40 minutes.
We need to put out more food.
The kitten came back. Oh, come here. So cute.
Let's check out this chicken coop and make sure that this roofing job I did on it held in those 50-mile-an-hour gusts we had yesterday. So first off, I don't remember who it was that made the comment, but I know Noel read me the comment about not just using the T111 on the top because it wouldn't keep it sealed. They could get mold underneath. They had some issues, so they recommended that it put an actual roof on it or do a metal roof. Since we moved, and I actually had some leftover material, some 30-year shingles, I had a couple packs left over. When we moved, I kept them just for, just in case. That came in very handy. So I took the suggestion from one of our viewers, and I put the roof on it. And as you can see, it at least held. So it is papered and asphalt shingles. And then same thing over top of the nesting box. We've got the asphalt shingles here, and I didn't have anything to use for flashing, so this is actually a silicone bead that I've got through here. But if I find something I can use for flashing there, then I'll go back through and do it. But I checked it during the heavy rain, following the heavy rain, and the inside of this chicken coop is absolutely dry as a bone. So that just leaves the question then of ventilation, and I know that's come up from a couple of our viewers. And so some of the things that you can't really see at a glance is right up under here. There is actually a small gap under here to let air in, and of course the whole thing is not airtight, but then underneath this side on the front, this under eave, this is all vented up under here for about 3/4 of the way down, and then I have the 1-inch chicken wire up under there to make sure no predators or anything gets in underneath. So chickens seem to absolutely love it in there. And then for bedding, I went with kind of a deep bedding. It's got a pack of the pine shavings in the bottom, and then I did a couple inches of some of that kind of grassy hay mixture from the back that we baled. So I put some of that in there, and they actually worked that first layer down in about a week. So I added another layer on top of that, kind of turned what was in there, and added more. And I do have to say, when I was literally up in that chicken coop, and there was no odor in the chicken coop at all after a week. So other than, the pine shavings and the smell of the grassiness. So that was a win-win for that.
Okay, so now it's time to make dessert. And I thought I had peaches, but I had mango. However, in the book for peach cobbler, it does say that you can also use blueberries in place of the peaches if you don't have that, and you can use frozen. So we're making a blueberry cobbler. And I gotta pick that up. Grandma had this cheese ball recipe stuffed in here. But what I was going to say is the reason for a dessert, especially now, you guys know I've gotten away from making desserts all the time. But in this 30 days, every day will be a dessert, because my grandmother never went without something sweet. Every night she ended her day with something sweet. So there always was a treat at Grandma's house, always. Whether it was homemade or store-bought, more homemade than store-bought. She always would make chocolate chip cookies, or she would have a pie or a cake or a cobbler or something, always. And I just kind of did that with my family. Once I started cooking for my family, I always loved that. And I became the house everybody would come to, my mother, my grandmother, anybody, and say, what we got? What's in the cookie jar? What kind of yummy treat do we have? So this 30 days will definitely always be a treat. So tonight is going to be the cobbler. Now that fudge that I made yesterday, I froze a huge chunk of it to set out on Christmas, because it does freeze quite well. And Jake reminded me this morning, and he's like, don't you remember for my birthday when I was little, because that was my favorite treat, Grandma made peanut butter fudge every year for my birthday, and she'd give me money and peanut butter fudge. And I said, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. But she did. They're all his little years. She did. She was very close to my children and had a very big part in their lives. But let's go on and make this. We're going to make blueberry cobbler. Okay, so it said to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Then we're going to take a half a cup of margarine, it says to use, and put this in the oven to melt. Then we're going to add 2 cups of blueberries. I'm using frozen to the bowl.
Blueberry casserole?
We're going to add a half a cup of sugar to that. And just kind of give it a quick little toss. And set this aside. Then in another bowl, we're going to add 3/4 cup flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 cup of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 cup of milk. And we're just going to stir this up. And then we're going to put this flour mixture over first. It says do not stir it. And then we're going to do the blueberries over top of that. And again, it says do not stir it. And you do the same thing if you're doing peach. I'm just going to spread it out. I'm not stirring, just spreading. And this goes in the oven at 350 degrees. And this says that it is going to bake for 35 to 45 minutes or until it is light brown and puffy. So we will check it. I'll probably check in about 20 minutes because I have a convection oven and it tends to cook a little bit faster. So it's 5:11, so I'll check it probably about 5:30. What are you up here reading? Just reading some Bad Kitty?
That is when you don't get the breakfast you want. Hey!
I brought you a snack. He wanted some cheese puffs while he's up here reading.
Gosh, you can be such harsh critic sometimes.
Now I'm going to go on and make this Indian chicken casserole. This comes from 1978. This says to arrange chicken in the bottom of a casserole dish. Now it also says that you could replace turkey with this, so it would be great for leftovers for, after Thanksgiving. And it also says instead of cream of chicken soup, you could replace it with gravy. Okay, we're just going to set that chicken aside and mix everything else together in a bowl. Starting with 1 can of cream of chicken soup, or you would substitute out leftover gravy. Add 2 eggs, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, Okay, and 1 cup of evaporated milk. One and a half cups of whole kernel corn, but I only have frozen. And honestly, there's just a little bit left. I'm gonna go ahead and just dump it all in there. 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And then we just mix this all together. Then we're gonna pour this over the chicken. And then it says to bake this at 350 degrees for 50 to 60 minutes.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean, yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
Here we go. All right.
Dance, dance,
Now this
dance,
Christmas, we're gonna dance.
we're gonna dance.
Okay guys, I'm gonna go on and call it a night. I got everybody's doing their evening chores and I'm just ready to go relax and get ready to go to bed. So we'll see all of you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and everybody loved the blueberry cobbler and the Indian casserole, though everybody said it was good, but it's not something they would ask for. So there you have it. All right, we'll see all of you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Bye everybody.
Dance and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Oh, yeah.